Soon it will be you who comes begging to me.
Hi, I'm Nat, he's Matt, and we got your geek news right here.
And this week, it's a preview and review of Sam Raimi's Drag Me to Hell.
Matt and I actually managed to find ourselves in a sneak preview of Drag Me to Hell when we were at South by Southwest back in March.
So, for a change, we'll be able to give you clips and interviews from the film along with our thoughts on the movie.
Our spoiler-free thoughts on the movie, we should mention.
Right. It was great to see Harry Knowles from AinitCoolNews.com come out on stage at South by Southwest to introduce Sam Raimi and his return to the genre that he started.
Exactly, that was actually really cool. And he had this totally random slapstick routine that cracked up the entire theater while he tried to introduce the movie.
Yeah, Sam is definitely as big a character as any he's ever directed.
It's usually, in the films I've been making, ordinary people who find themselves in extraordinary circumstances, and this film is no different. CHRSTINE is a character who is somebody hopefully we can identify with and relate to, and she just makes a wrong decision and she finds herself in an outrageously extraordinary circumstance. Someone who's cursed. Someone who is cursed to be dragged down into hell in 3 days.
My character, Christine Brown, is a loan officer, and she comes across this older Hungarian woman who wants an extension on her loan. Her house is being foreclosed on. So my character in any situation would give her the loan, but because she wants a promotion, wants to please her boss, she denies her the loan to fill the quota, and is then literally in a few hours attacked by this old woman in the car violently, and this woman just wants the button from her, so she plucks this button and puts this curse on my character. And so for the whole rest of the movie, my character is being harassed by these demon spirits.
I've always really liked this story. It's a lot of fun. It's like a popcorn ghost story, something that it's like a spookablast. People might like to see because it's funny and scary, and I've always been attracted to its simplicity. It's really a simple ghost story.
These days, when you think of a horror film, it's usually got a modern style with grungy production that's just out to be more and more gory and disturbing.
But in the way only Sam Raimi can, he manages to make a horror film that seems to have a soul, with natural characters, a great plot, and a great classic look.
And that's no small feat in the age of Saws and Hostels.
The most interesting aspect of the script is that it was both very modern in terms of who the characters are, especially Christine and my character, but that the style was back to a kind of horror that I like. Like, I generally don't watch horror movies because most modern horror movies are like, you know, you put a girl in a cage and there's a guy you can't see with a hammer that wants to bash her skull in or something. And this had a plot, and this had a mystery in it, and wonder, and a good deal of humor. And it just felt like it had a heart, which is hard to think of a horror movie that has a heart.
Pray to God none of my students see me here. The only class I'll be able to teach is like Hypocrisy 101. So many things to choose from here. Unfortunately, not what I'm looking for, which is a weird little dried monkey head. Oh, wait, no, never mind. He's gone.
I'm RHAM Joss. See ya.
I'm Christine, and this is Clay.
You probably already knew that, right?
Well, there's a role that is played often in a horror film, that is the skeptic, and that's what Justin plays. And fortunately, he plays it with a slightly sarcastic, very funny sense of humor about the whole thing. He obviously doesn't believe in the supernatural or this curse that Christine is suffering under until he experiences more and more and deeper manifestations of it. And finally, by the end of the film, he becomes a believer.
Sam's definitely got the right idea with Drag Me to Hell. It's funny, it's gory as hell. This is the guy who brought us Evil Dead, and you can tell.
But the performances are also bang on. Justin Long, Dilip Rao, and Alison Lohman really do deliver in this one, and you can tell this man made us take Spider-Man seriously.
Well, at least 2 out of 3 times he did.
Oh, Matt.
Sam is amazing. I love him as a director because it is about the acting first over everything else. He wants to make sure that the actors know every thought that, you know, our characters are having, and he likes to map it out. I mean, obviously with all the storyboarding he does, and he's just very specific and detailed with the characters.
I beat you, you bitch!
Allison held up really well. We hit her with the fights and the mud and the blood, and she just came out a champion each and every time, ready for more. So I was thrilled with her endurance and her professional quality throughout all these really tough sequences.
It's been such a thrill. It's been really different for me because I'm not used to working with a director like that who is so accomplished and original, and I'm such a big fan of. So it's cool to come to work just as aside from all the acting nonsense, it's cool to just show up as a fan of somebody's and get to watch them on that level. And it has only exceeded my expectations of you know, what his process is like.
More than just a supernatural thriller, I think that the characters are interesting enough for the audience to emotionally get involved, you know, with the story. Obviously, coming from Sam, because he's such a great storyteller. I mean, I feel like every movie he's done, you get thoroughly engrossed in the character, you know. So it's not just a light movie, you know. But then it has a little bit of everything. I mean, I think it's very funny too.
What my brother Ivan and I really wanted to do in writing the script, and what we tried to do, myself and all the craftsmen making the film, both in production and post-production, is to tell a really fun, spooky ghost story that the audience can experience like listening to a campfire ghost story. It's a little creepy. It hopefully can get titters of laughter at times. Hopefully they can jump and scream every once in a while. And they can end with a wow feeling like they got a chill from how it ended.
So the version we saw in March had some unfinished visual effects, but it hardly took away from our enjoyment of the movie.
Great comedy horror moments,
Definitely.
Awesome practical effects, lots of blood.
And lots of jumps.
And some really great characters.
Both realistic and comically out of this world.
And a fantastically simple plot with a solid ticking clock that made for a really fast-moving, easy to enjoy, and easy to laugh at horror film.
Which is not something you see a lot of times these days. So, needless to say, we both really enjoyed Drag Me to Hell and definitely recommend it to anyone,
Especially
honestly.
if you're a Sam Raimi fan and just want to see him do what he does best.